pick the right insurance company. I mean, flow's an obvious no. Stay away from the gecko lizard, you know, Jake all the way, you know what I mean? So.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
If the neighbor kid hits you, hit him back. That's important to me.
One, to finish everything that they do, no matter if they don't like it. They gotta finish it. Yes, even broccoli.
So growing up, my dad wasn't really around. So one of the impacts that I want to have on my children is to be ever present for them, just to teach them the right way to do things, to be forgiving. Forgiveness is actually strength.
The influence my dad had on me is he was always just super kind-hearted, and he just wanted to help everybody he could. He just goes out of his way to help people all the time. So if I could pass anything on to my kids, I just want them to like go out of their way to help people and just get joy out of that.
My dad used to wake me, my brother, my sister up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to pray and read the Bible. As much as I hated it, as I grew up, I learned the importance of it. So although I don't wake my girls up at 5 o'clock, we make sure that we pray every single night before we go to bed.
My dad is not my biological dad, so what he really taught me was really just sacrifice and love no matter what. Provide for your family, work hard, so you can have a better life for your kids.
God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. Don't be afraid to do things. And I think of even last year, whenever I adopted Raymond, and then we had our own son, and just one of those things, like, you can't be afraid. You have to be strong. You have to rely on the Lord. Even if you are afraid, don't be fearful.
I'd say the most important thing God has called me to be as a father is loyal. Just loyal to my wife, to my family, to God, to my children. Because one day my daughter's gonna want to marry a guy like me, and my son's gonna want to be a man like me, and I gotta make sure that's a good thing.
Being present and being an active father was one of the most important things to me, because I feel like a lot of times Black fathers get looked at as not being around and not being there. But just to be able to break that stigma and be like, we're there, we're around, we're present, and God has called me to be there for my family.
It says in Genesis 18:19, I've singled him out so that he will direct his sons and their families to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. And even though like our family situation doesn't look the same as others, I'm still gonna be that example for them, that leader for them, to say, hey, this is how we're gonna live, this is what God's calling us to do, and that way that's instilled in them, and they can take that to their families and their families from there.